Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gen Xer JJ, Deacon Super Creative. Oh, and Deacon's a grumpy old codger, not a cooger. Maybe
Not a cooger. That would be two O's. Hi, JJ. What's up? I'm a Gen Xer too.
Guys, Deacon is so sweet. I logged in because I'm late because I'm making the show or whatever. Oh, look, you can see this shirt sucks. You can see right through my shirt. Deacon, I logged in because I'm gathering all the stories. Believe you me, there's nothing great to talk about today. There's some stories that are interesting, but there's nothing great. There's nothing that's a theme that I can be like, oh, this will be a great title. I love it when we have stories that I can be like, it's the end of the world.
I've been refreshing the page for about 10 minutes. I'm like, JJ is struggling this morning with a title because I've seen that he's been up for a while. Me and you've been up for 2 hours.
I woke up a little while ago. I don't know. My headphones are not working. I'm going to have to plug in some real ones. I mean, I was struggling to come up with a title. And then, it's just a bunch of little stories. Now, there's some important, but just nothing that's just thematically like wonderful. Sometimes there's just wonderful theme. Not this morning. So here we are. We're going with an...
Can I bring up one thing just because we've been on a theme for it all week? I don't want to take 20 minutes and talk about this that we have all week.
All right.
But something was brought to my attention last night. Ashley and I went out to eat and we were sitting there and I looked at a page that I am on and this came up and I started reading it and I was like, I'll be damned. It made me feel like I jumped the gun the other day.
Oh,
okay. So I think I posted it. I don't know if I posted it in our FUNSLINGERS server. Let me save it from this other place here. I'm sorry. I was not prepared for this. Let me save this off of this.
You interrupted me.
I know. I'm sorry. But I wanted to bring this up just as a thing right at the beginning. So, because I didn't want to get into anything else. So let me pull this window right here. All right. I'm going to read this to you. Why were the tapes released only to Tucker Carlson? How do we know that this is an attempt by the political criminal cabal to water down, hide the most damning criminal liable portions of the 40,000 plus hours of footage? Why are there no secondary source for reaffirming Tucker's narrative and selective release of the tapes? We now have gone from having to listen to the J6 committee narrative to Tucker Carlson narrative. We all know for a fact that these are glaring red flags. Number one, anti-Trump and establishment megaphone. Rupert Murdoch's Fox News is allowing Tucker to do this. Number two, why is Tucker not playing the entire videos but just editing snippets that repeat themselves throughout the show? Three, did you notice Tucker repeat several times that he had run the videos through the Capitol Police to get their approval as to what can be shown and what had to be kept hidden? It's not that I'm just being paranoid. It's because we all know that the DC swamp is full of deception and the abode of masterminds of criminal cover-ups. They're trying to, in my humble opinion, cover up the most egregious parts of the video. Capitol Police are not giving Tucker the approval to show clips that criminally implicate themselves. Tucker, in all probability, going to show few hours of video, which most we have already seen on the internet or already knew existed, then make a long repetitive statements about the corrupt politicians and the ends to cover up the most serious crime against the American people in Constitution history. To just realize this, the only authentication, verification, confirmation that all the serious and criminal actions perpetrated on J6 by our elected officials and their law enforcement goons are still based on only one foundation, the J6 committee. Tucker Carlson saying the same thing. Release the entire 40,000 hours of video footage through multiple sources so that we, the people, can decide on what's the truth. And when I read that last night, I was like, wow, maybe I jumped the gun on that a little bit, because that's exactly what I did. Was I grabbed Tucker Carlson's narrative and I was slobbering at the mouth. And maybe I as a human need to slow my roll down.
Well,
and I look at it this way, like, wow, okay, that's a good point. They make a good point.
I'm gonna just say from the jump here, I don't watch Tucker Carlson.
I don't either.
I don't watch Fox News.
I'm guessing
And
he's on the right side, Tucker Carlson. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know where he is.
he's definitely I would place him like firmly conservative. Yeah,
So this is
firmly
that's how much
conservative
I pay
positional.
attention to those people and how much they really influence my
And
0.
yeah, I would also place him as no, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say fairly authoritarian, but he's certainly more authoritarian than I am. You know, I think I've made it pretty clear that I don't trust anybody, and I'm about as anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Whoever the establishment is, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the government with power. And I think Tucker still believes that the government can be used to make American lives better. That it can be used to have policy direction that it can be used as a lever for good and for evil, and it's currently being used for evil. I think that he kind of thinks that. I don't believe the government can be used yeah, Jeremy says it good. Tucker is a statist. I'm not a statist. The only statist I believe in is Texas. So now I don't watch Tucker Carlson, and I have seen about as little as this as we've seen I've shown on the show. I'm not at all surprised because I watched, and like some of you guys, I watched this stuff happen live on Twitter. It was no revelation to me that people were milling about taking selfies in the Capitol. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that most of them were fine, and it was and I've also seen breaches that I don't think anybody has seen, where there, and I just don't know if they have seen them or not. Where there was one part of the Capitol building where the window was smashed in, and
Yeah.
then a crew of like 10 people were in there. They got into the building, and they were recording themselves for some reason, like retards.
Yeah.
And they started coordinating, and one of them knew the geography inside the Capitol building to say, okay, once we go through this door, we go down this way to down here, right here. So there was definitely a group of people that had ill intent and were coordinated. I don't know
Yeah.
who those people are, and I
I
don't
don't
think
I
they
don't
ever
wanna
got put on blast
I
on the
don't wanna
media.
I don't wanna talk about it. I don't wanna
Right.
get into it, and I just wanted to bring that up, what I saw last night, and just open up that avenue of prospect, because we've
I
talked about it
mean,
for the last 2
yeah.
days, and that came up
Ugh,
last night, and it made me change my I started thinking,
I
"Well,
think
did I jump the gun maybe?"
I think we said it the other day. Like I don't think anybody's. I don't as big a release as this is or whatever. That the fact that first of all, it's been 2 years and Congress, Nancy Pelosi, didn't give anything to anybody. And you know what? Some of this footage could have exonerated some of the people that have been charged in the Capitol. There's at least one guy that had charges dropped because he said and was able to prove the cops were escorting me in. It's not trespassing if you're allowed in. And one
Yeah.
of the J6 defendants had his charges dropped. How many of the other ones that have been sitting in prison rotting for over 2 years?
Yeah,
How many of them?
rotting, what the liberals say. Let these terrorists rot in prison. Well, is that guy
Yeah.
a terrorist now? I mean,
Uh,
what is your definition of the generic word
how
terrorist that
about
Bush come up with?
how about
How about
whether you're happy with them or not, whether you think they're a terrorist or not, they're American citizens, and the Constitution says you have a right to a quick and speedy trial. And Congress, Nancy Pelosi, denied to these defendants evidences that could have exonerated them, showing them being fucking
exactly.
toured.
So yeah, so in that, guys, at least we know at least one person that Nancy Pelosi that they kept that shit from to
Yeah,
put him. So are they terrorists rotting in prison now, or are they your fucking neighbor that went to the Capitol that day and
because they
was
were upset.
involved in some bullshit, and they were
Yeah,
upset at shit that was going on in America, and they were doing what Americans do.
right. And they quickly found themselves in a situation that they are not capable of handling. And
Exactly.
did their congressperson, did people back them up? Nope. They got
If you
left
want
out to dry. Now I'm not defending all of them, and especially the
no,
people breaking stuff and taking stuff. They shouldn't
to
be doing
me,
that
there
shit.
were people that were plants in there that were
There were
agitators.
there were
There were
definitely
agitator
agitators.
plant that were in there, and it's very that's the freaking that's the hell, my brain's not working. I have been sleeping and my fucking brain's not working. I can't pick up the words that are floating right there. Um, Swarm. That's what swarming. When insects swarm, they
Yeah,
think they swarm because there's so many of them and they get so close together and they get agitated, and that's why they swarm. And it's
right.
the same way with like a human. It's the same way we don't call it
Okay, so
swarming.
even Mr. E agrees on this. It was a crime of opportunity for some of them. I'm gonna say,
Exactly. I
I'm
agree
gonna
with that.
say there were a lot of people there with perfectly good intentions,
I think
and
most
there
of
were.
them did not want to commit a crime. I think the agitators did what agitators do. All
Mm-hmm,
If you've got a crowd of 50 people and you've got them riled up a little bit, but 48 of them are not going to do anything.
right, but then
One
you have a
person
couple.
can get
Yeah,
those two people riled up to do if this is I use this in radio. Okay. If I have a topic that I can't get any callers to call in on, I would go next door to the studio next door and tell the DJ next door, hey, man, call the request lines. And we're talking about this morning. Call the request lines and say that I'm a freaking idiot and that you believe on the other side real quick and then hang up on me. And it worked every time, JJ. I'm not lying. It worked every single time. It would fire up and I would have phone. It just takes one person
yeah,
to
yeah,
act, to instigate three more people to act. And then
yeah.
that instigates three more. You see what happens? And it works every
I
time. And
mean,
I think that is honestly something that we're not looking at
oh,
is
look at
that
this.
this
Even
happened up there.
even Mr. E wants to find out what's up with Ray Epps. Who's Ray Epps? He wants the ringleaders brought to you. We don't know who they
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Anyway, look.
All right. I just wanted to bring that up because
40.
maybe I
I
jumped the
just want to say
gun.
this: 40,000 hours of fucking video, dude.
It's a
How do
lot.
you
Yeah.
deal with that? How do you deal with that? The only thing that I can think, and it would be a major project, would be to take all of that footage, geotag it with physical locations, put it into a big server, and tie it to a map so that, and then release the entire thing online so that everybody can go to every camera and see what was happening at any given minute. And you could geographically place the video footage with respect to a map, and then that would be such a big project to do. And it's massive. So the question really is, who do you trust? I think if you trust the mainstream media or Congress or the sergeant at arms or whoever the fuck has been in charge of stuff for the last 2 years, you're a fucking dope. And if you outright trust Tucker Carlson, I mean, I don't know. All I know is you can't trust anybody. Everybody's lying about all of this. Anyway, okay. I don't
Sorry,
want to
I'm
talk about.
looking at
I didn't even
I
want to
was
talk
looking at
about
all the
JC.
other stories. We've got a few political stories.
Yeah. Let's stick with some political stuff.
Oh
Hey, do you
no, I'm
remember?
seeing some of these. Mitch
Huh?
McConnell. Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to
Okay. Yeah. All right.
you brought it. You
We've got
brought
two
it.
or
So
three. Yeah, we've got two or
you're
three.
you're senator, sir. You may not know this.
Yeah,
You
I
can
didn't
see
know.
him on our title card. By the way, our title card today. Today is March 9th, 2023. Our title is Gen Z are idiots and we are all doomed. This is not shocking or surprising.
No, it's not.
We'll get to that story in a minute. But on the title card, you'll find the beloved um,
Mitch McConnell.
Senate Majority Leader. Yeah, let me get it. Let me put it up here on screen here. Open with.
We don't have to look at his face. I mean, if
Oh,
it's
no.
going to take
You
20
want
minutes.
to? I feel like we.
I mean, if it's
absolutely-
going to take this much time,
Yeah, I messed it up. See,
you're pulling at Andy this morning.
oh, I'm
The
doing a
Deacon
bad
this
job.
morning.
Bad job. Here. Oh, and now my kid is also up too. This is going to be great. Here we go. Okay. Sorry for the delay here. Gen Z are idiots. We were all doomed. And there's Mitch McConnell. Poor turtle. He got busted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see.
So here's what's up with Mitch McConnell. Apparently he was at a hotel in DC. I mean, he doesn't live in a hotel, I imagine. So I wonder why he was at a hotel. Senate Majority Leader.
They might have he might have the penthouse there. They might have a room.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized following a fall in Washington, D.C. His team
He's
told
only
ABC.
900 years old.
Yeah, he's like, the dude's real old. This evening, the leader tripped at a local hotel during a private affair, and he was admitted to the hospital where he's receiving treatment. So at this time, The team is not providing any extra information about his injuries or how long he will remain hospitalized. The Republican leader, who is 81 years old, overcame polio at a young age and suffered a fall in August 2019 where he fractured his shoulder. McConnell has served as a Republican leader in the Senate since 2007, has become the longest-serving party leader in history of the Senate earlier this year. He's also one of Andy's senators.
He's one of my senators. I live in Kentucky. He is, I have said for a long time when people were arguing, Bill Clinton, Bush, and Obama, and I kept saying the whole time, I'm like, they're not the most powerful person in the country. The most powerful person in the country for a long time has been Mitch McConnell. I'm not advocating for, he's my senator. The only reason, JJ knows this, and I'm going to say it again. The only reason I even like Mitch McConnell is because I am from Kentucky and he takes care of Kentucky.
He brings shit to Kentucky.
We have had a multitude of different problems that have happened in our area that is way far away from the state capital. We're on the other side of the state. And he has made sure that we have money to battle these things that we are battling that is killing our freaking tourism industry. We've got invasive carp that invaded our lakes. We have our tourism industry in Western Kentucky is lakes. We have some of the most beautiful lakes. All right, they were trying to label it years ago as the South's Great Lakes because we have celebrities have mansions over here on the lakes, and it's a beautiful area. And so tourism is a lot of money, and fishing tournaments. JJ, fishing tournaments every weekend. We'll have multiple fishing tournaments with people everywhere. These carp ponds down in Mississippi about 25 years ago got flooded, and all the carp started moving up.
Oh.
So they have invaded our lakes over the past 20 years and completely eradicated certain types of bait fish that we can't even go and get shad fish anymore because the carp have completely eradicated that species in our lake. So Mitch McConnell had helped us get all kinds of freaking money to help battle this carp that is destroying our area. So that's the only, and that's not the only thing he does. I'm just saying he's taken care of Kentucky, but every other thing that he does,
I mean, everything he does to the country.
Yeah.
Like, has he had some wins? Yeah, he's had a lot of wins. And has he had wins on stuff that you'd rather have him win than Democrats win? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But don't get me to, you're not going to get me to say that he's a good guy. That dude is not a good guy. But that being said, all of them. I hope that he has a speedy recovery. I don't want anybody to be injured or hurt or anything else. So
same way with when we joke about Fetterman. I don't give a shit about that, but I don't want him to I want him to have a speedy recovery. I don't wish him harm.
Yeah. So apparently, I mean, we haven't talked about it. In fact, as horrible and evil and awful as we are, Andy, we haven't even mentioned that Fetterman checked himself into I think Mayo Clinic for depression or something like that. We haven't even talked about it.
I thought that he had a stroke like 3 weeks ago, and then he disappeared, and nobody had seen him. But they were still reporting that Fetterman and so were here and made the vote today. And they're like, we hadn't seen this guy in 2 weeks.
There are rumor stories. There's a rumor that he was having a stroke. There was a rumor that he was brain dead, and I was like, happened? I don't believe in it. He checked himself in for depression, and I've seen photos of him sitting at a table reading a paper. So I don't think he's, now he's in poor health. I mean, he obviously is in poor health. But if the people of Pennsylvania feel like he's the person to best represent them, then Okie
I would
dokie.
I would think that, I mean, if the man's checked himself into a place for depression, I would think that as a responsible person that cares about his well-being, we probably need to put somebody else in your position so that you're not as
Mm,
stressed with all of this crap that you're going to
well,
be stressed with, and all of these timetables to be everywhere all the damn time. Well,
I'm
you need to rest, sir.
I
For the betterment of your health.
what you're saying makes a lot of sense if people cared more about,
His
John
health.
Fetterman than they
Yeah,
cared about their grasp of political power.
you're exactly right.
Okay. Hey, let's dunk some more on Washington here. You remember yesterday I spoke yesterday about the kidnapping and killing in Matadoras. It's just across the border from Brownsville. Sorry if I said your name of your state or city wrong. I just don't give a fuck about Mexico.
Will you look at something real quick for
Yeah,
me?
sure.
Look at the top of my head.
Okay.
Is it flat?
I mean,
But look, wait a minute. Take this into account. I'm a DJ for 30 years. I just noticed this when I was putting my headphones on.
yeah.
They're not comfortable right here.
Uh
They're
huh.
not comfortable right here,
Right.
but they fit into a groove right here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Been
say I
doing
don't know.
this
I don't
about,
even know if it's flat. It kind of seems like there might be like a divot. A divot.
I think there is.
From right
I
there, there's
put
a
on
little bit of a
headphones
divot.
like 50 times a day, every day for 30 years. You would
You may have
put my head.
you may have done some sort of a like ancient practice where you shaped your
Ooh,
skull while you were
I could be
growing.
alien now.
Mm.
Can I have a cool nickname? We all have like some real disparaging cool nicknames. Will you call me like Divot Head or something?
Divot head. No, I wouldn't call an alien a divot head.
No, I
What would
want
I
to be
call
made fun of.
it? I think we're gonna. Okay, well, guys in chat, please help us come up with names to throw at Andy. Why don't you guys
That's
do
weird.
that?
I'm sorry to derail you. I was scratching my head
Yeah,
and I was putting and I looked and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, is that a dent in my head?
40 something years and you have never noticed it? Your own
No,
top of your head?
no, I don't look at the top of my head. I try to avoid mirrors. I don't like to look at my reflection very much.
All right. All right. Here is our next story. The White House. So what I was saying was, the cartel kidnapped and killed American citizens a couple days ago, and they've been shipping fentanyl and human trafficking across our border for decades. And the Biden administration isn't doing jack shit about it. Isn't doing jack shit. The cartel can run right up to the border and even across our border and act with impunity. And thank you, sir. Here, Deacon, we have a contribution from a viewer here. Thank you for watching, sir. Richard
Ditch
Phalos called
skull.
you Ditch Skull. That's pretty great.
That's great. That's a good one.
We'll just go ahead and update you right now. Hang on.
Thank you. Ditch Skull. That's a great one. That sounds like a great metal band. I think I've heard some Ditch Skull.
That is pretty rad. That's a rad name. All right. So, some people, especially on the right, have been floating the idea of like, hey, why don't we just fucking kill the cartels or smash them or use our military or something to secure our country, secure our borders, stop human trafficking, stop women and children being raped and abused and trafficked across the border, stop drugs, fentanyl from pouring into the country and killing Americans. Why don't we do something about that? How about this? How about we declare cartels terrorist organizations to give extra legal powers so that we can go after these guys? And the White House has said designating these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations would not grant us any additional authorities that we don't already have at this time.
You almost wonder where their hands are, what pockets certain hands in the government are for opposing something like this.
Yeah.
And now I understand, we talked about this and we talked about this yesterday. I understand that this is not a black and white question. This is a very, very gray question. I'm not going to say probably, there are legal issues and standpoints that JJ and I have no clue about
that's true.
That are mandatory in something like this. So we can't make the decision here. But yeah, that's you almost wonder who's rubbing who other's back in order to
All right.
like cartel money coming in.
So okay. So
Jeremy,
if there's a terror,
your brother
yeah,
might be right.
yeah, he might be right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring that up. So if there's a terrorist organization, let's say somewhere in some deserty part of the world on the other side of the planet, what would we do? Oh, we would go, oh, there's a terrorist organization. They're driving a car. They're driving a Jeep. They're even doing a convoy. And then out of nowhere, some mystery fucking drone would drop bombs on them and kill all of them. That's what would happen if it was somewhere deserty on the other side of the world. If it's somewhere deserty south of our border, we don't do anything. Now, who would be the ones dropping the bombs on the other side of the world? It would be the military. It would be the CIA. And they would be destroying shit. Why can't they do that? Why can't they do that in Mexico? Why can't they do that? Oh, because this This is what Jeremy says. Problem number one: CIA cartel cooperation.
CIA don't lie about anything. They don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what are you talking about? Oh, wait.
Problem number two: the Mexican army cannot fight cartels due to terrain. Yeah, the Mexican army is not equipped to run down. Look, the United States of America cannot go to Afghanistan and run down terrorists through a mountain.
They know better.
We lost and withdrew and skedaddled out of there after 20 years. We can't do it.
The exact same reason why you're not going to overtake a bunch of country boys in the backwoods of Kentucky either, because they know where all the caves are. They know where all this shit is.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Yeah, they know the stuff you don't know. Okay. So so the Mexican army can't do it. Now, could we work with the Mexican army and sort it out? Yeah, probably. If the Mexican army and the state police of Mexico and the CIA weren't all interbound with people that are associated with the cartel that have a vested interest in, for whatever reason, keeping guns running, keeping drugs running, keeping whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it seems like a problem we can solve, but for some reason we can't fucking solve it. When given the opportunity, when given the opportunity to just say, you know what, you're right, even if it doesn't give us any additional powers, we should declare the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, because that at least changes the story. It changes the media. It changes the perception. It changes the public will.
Why not just,
can we do that? No, can't do that.
So you can't classify them as a foreign terrorist organization in order to combat them for this. Well, why don't we just call them something else?
Right.
And create something else. They're technically not this because of this. Well, they technically are this, which falls into the subcategory of there's legal ways to get around this. While there's crap that we can't do this. Well, there's a reason, because somebody made a phone call.
If these cartels were headquartered like 50 miles north, then there would be RICO charges. There would be organized crime. There would be mafia stuff. We could get them on everything. But they're 50 miles south, and so there's nothing we can do. What are we gonna do? We can't even call them terrorists. Okay. Well, good job. Good job, Biden.
The only reason they want to call them terrorists is so they can fit them into a category, and so that they can take an action. And what I'm saying is, if you can't take that action because you can't categorize them a certain way, categorize them a different way, and then make something to where you can take action on this different way. You see what I mean? They technically aren't an apple, but they are a freaking apple pear hybrid. So, we've got laws against that, but we don't have laws against this.
Threaten war with Mexico. I don't want to go to war with Mexico.
No.
You know what I want?
We're awesome. I love we as Americans oh, Canada, you're so great. Fuck you, Mexico. And that's bullshit, man. I know a lot of Mexican people, and they're fucking great people.
Yeah,
they're great humans.
But honestly, by having the border open and doing absolutely nothing, America is complicit in trafficking humans, rape and murder in humans. Like, our policy facilitates really atrocious stuff. We could secure the border and let the people in that we want to let in, and keep the people out that we want out. We could be doing that, but we're not doing that. Why? I don't know why. I mean, I have a good idea why, but why? Why has the president never visited the border? Why is he not addressing the probably number one security issue we have? I don't know. Now, the federal government's not all bad. I'm joking. It's really awful. The DoD is coming up short on audit of its spending, which totals nearly $800 billion a year. The Department of Defense is the largest U.S. government department. It employs 2.1 million military service members and about 780,000 civilian employees, and they've lost some of the money. Let's see what's going on here. The president's budget submission for 2023 requested $773 billion for the department, according to the Department of Defense. In November, Michael McCord, the Undersecretary of Defense and Comptroller, Chief Financial Officer, said the department news source that he did not have a timeline for when the department would be able to get a clean audit. But apparently, let's see. How much are we short? How much are we short? I think the whole thing is that they can't do an audit. Yeah. They seem to be unable to complete an audit. We don't know where our money is. About 70% of our investment in the DoD is in physical assets. So we're talking buildings, cars, printers, stuff like that. 70% of the 70% of that money is in physical assets, and we can't account for it. So, well, that's the federal government. Who would have thought that? All right, that's enough political stuff, I think. Have I run out of those? We got one more thing, Deacon. This is awful, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play this whole video, but I am going to play some of it. I mentioned a moment ago that the United States of America lost a war in Afghanistan. We retreated, gave it to the Taliban, and let's see, people died in a terrorist bombing during our retreat, and other humans literally fell off of our airplanes as we were trying to escape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, my God. Right. Yes, I remember that now. Oh, my God.
Did they lose a bomber? They did lose a bomber. Now, if you recall, during the withdrawal, there was a bombing and some people were killed. A suicide bomb or a like a terrorist type bombing. It was right on the periphery of the airport as the United States forces, the military might of the United States abandoned Bagram Airfield that they had totally secluded, isolated, armed, and defended, and instead tried to escape from I don't remember the name of the city, but the capital city. It was the dumbest plan in history of dumb plans. And during the withdrawal, there was a bombing and people were killed. Well, it turns out this man right here, and I'm going to play some of his testimony before Congress. And I'm not going to play. This is a 5-minute video, but I'm going to play a minute or so of it. He's talking about being on duty. And he was up in the tower scanning the periphery, right? And he and his team identified a person and a couple of people that fit the description of a suicide bomber. They fit the profile and they fit the description they were looking out for. And then he called his command staff to try to get authorization to stop this. He couldn't get authorization to stop this. The bomb went off. People died. Because the chain of command pussed out and wouldn't say, pull the trigger, stop the bad guy.
And I quote, "I don't know," end quote. Myself and my team leader asked very harshly, "Well, who does? Because this is your responsibility, sir." Quote, "I don't know," end quote. He's a fire on the suicide bomber, pointedly met the suicide bomber description. He eventually arrived and we showed him our evidence, the photos we had of the two men. We reassured him of the ease of fire on the suicide bomber. Pointedly, we asked him for engagement authority and permission. We asked him if we could shoot. Our battalion commander said, and I quote, "I don't know," end quote. Myself and my team leader asked very harshly, "Well, who does? Because this is your responsibility, sir." He again replied he did not know, but would find out. We received no update and never got our answer. Eventually, the individual disappeared. To this day, we believe he was a suicide bomber. We made everyone on the ground aware. Operations had briefly halted, but then started again. Plain and simple, we were ignored. Our expertise was disregarded. No one was held accountable for our safety. About 1730, Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover, friend and mentor.
This is heartbreaking.
came to get me from the tower to go help find an Afghan interpreter in the crowd.
I can't imagine.
This is horrible.
We found the interpreter and his brother, born with American passports. They told us of 5 family members still in the canal. I stayed there waiting for the family members standing against a 2-foot canal wall. 10 minutes passed. Then a flash and a massive wave of pressure. I'm thrown 12 feet onto the ground, but instantly knew what had happened. I opened my eyes to Marines dead or unconscious, lying around me.
I'm going to stop it there.
Yeah.
All right. So Sergeant Vargas was he was there to protect and to stop people from doing this stuff. And he could have stopped. I mean, he personally, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault because this is how the military works. Chain of command. You have authority. You only exercise force when you have authority. And he didn't have permission. And the people that had the authority didn't have the wherewithal and didn't take it seriously enough, I guess. And because of that, the man with the gun and his finger on the trigger who couldn't use it, he lived, and his brothers and his battle buddies, they're dead. And you can't help but carry that kind of personal guilt. The fact that if I'd have just broken the rules, I could have saved my friends' lives. Yeah. And I feel really bad for this guy, and I don't blame him because he did the right thing. The people above him did the wrong thing, and the people way above him did the wrong thing. So fuck Joe Biden. Okay. Now
that was a long way to go to get a fuck Joe Biden joke. But
well, it wasn't really a joke. I'm genuinely pretty mad at him because you know what? That guy's friends are not the only ones that died. A lot of people died. A lot of people died for no reason. Didn't have to happen.
All right, I'm going to change the tone.
Yeah, let's go. Why don't you talk about Mr. Beast?
No. I'm going to change the tone here real quick. If I told you that the end of the world was going to be in 2043, yes, what would you do? Would you do anything different?
Let's see.
If I told you that there was a 1 in 600 chance that the end of humanity would be in 20 years,
that's a lot better odds than a lottery ticket.
That is a lot better odds than a lottery ticket. 1 in 600 chance. What would you do?
And there's no way that I could stop it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there could be end of the world. Would you do anything different?
I don't know. I probably would just be like, the hell with this diet.
I think you might need to go get a piece of cake then, JJ.
Yeah, let me get some.
A newly discovered asteroid the size of a swimming pool has a 1 in 600 chance of colliding with Earth, NASA says.
Wow.
And it's going to be perilously close to the Earth about 20 years from now. And with a roughly 1 in 600 chance that the space rock will collide directly with our planet. While that's a higher than average risk level for Earth asteroids, it's still a very small chance of impact, NASA wrote.
I wonder how big it is.
Expected to
like
decline.
The size of a swimming pool. I wonder how big that is. I wonder how massive that is.
That's what I was trying to get.
I don't see it. I don't see a tonnage.
All right, so here we go. A direct impact from such a rock wouldn't be cataclysmic like the roughly 7.5 mile wide dinosaur killing asteroid that they believe hit the Earth. However, 2023 DW is what they're calling this.
Yeah,
could still cause severe damage if it were to land close to a major city or heavy populated area. A meteor less than a half of that size exploded over Russia 10 years ago, generating a shock wave. Have you seen that?
Yeah. No, in fact, it was 2013. I remember watching that like around when it happened. I think there were YouTube clips and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember one of like a guy driving the car and because in Russia, they don't have them. We don't have them in the US as much, but in Russia, all over the place. People have cameras on their dashes. They put little dash cameras
because in Russia it's bad over there. Yeah,
yeah. And I remember seeing some dash cam footage of somebody driving in a meteor.
You're right. 90% of the dash cam footage you see is Russian dash cam footage.
Yeah, right.
It really is. But yeah, that was crazy, and that was half the size of what this one is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be bad. It could be bad, but that's in 20 years, and I might not be on this earth in 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Gen Z's got to worry about it, but Gen Z can barely even operate
I'm on this earth in 20 years. Goodness gracious, yeah. All right. Yeah, let me talk about Mr. Beast. All right. So I wanted to bring this up just because this is getting news attention, and it's been going for a week now, and it's almost like people have anything else?
I know who Mr. Beast is. I don't know what's going on with this story. What is happening?
So I was not familiar with Mr. Beast until my kids got me familiar with Mr. Beast, and then I started learning about him even more. And I love this man. I think this man he's
clever.
Not only clever, but I think he's good for humanity. He does things that are good for he is so fucking giving. I mean,
he has made. I will say this. I've seen some Mr. Beast videos. He does a lot of these, like, they're not pranks exactly. They're more like kind of like gimmicks or challenges and stuff. Tons of views. He has pulled in so much money from YouTube, like so much money that he doesn't even know what to do with it. So he starts giving it away, or
he gives it away now, because I've watched a documentary on him, and he was like, because he grew up poor, he was like, when I first got money, I bought cars and all this crap. And then he got to the point to where he realized he didn't want that crap. That wasn't him.
Yeah.
He sold all of his crap, and he gives away his money now. So he's not only focused on YouTube anymore, he's got burger joints. We've got a place in town that sells the Mr. Beast burgers. You've got to go online, order, they send it to the place. The place uses his stuff. They make you a Mr. Beast burger. It's about $13 for one of these fucking burgers.
Right.
And it's not bad. It's not a $13 burger, but it's a Mr. Beast burger.
Have you had a Mr. Beast burger?
My kids have, and I took a bite of it. It wasn't bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was like $12 or something like that. I was like, okay. It was the kids, and they wanted it. And I like Mr. Beast. Okay. So about a month ago or so, or however long, he tweeted out this picture. He's got one of his ventures right now is chocolate bars. And anybody that's going to go up against Hershey, I will buy your chocolate bar. Okay. So he's got these chocolate bars out, and he's got them in Walmarts, which, can you imagine if me and you had a chocolate bar company and we secured Walmart,
right? That's national distribution.
Holy balls.
They're probably going to take a bunch of the profit, but like
I don't care.
You make it up in volume.
Exactly. Yeah. You make it up in volume. So he tweeted out this picture. He sent out this picture that was, let me see if it's let me see if it's actually,
I can't get past the paywall here.
You gotta kidding me. Hang on, let me see if I can get past this real quick.
So the story says that he asked his fans to help clean up his chocolate bar displays.
Oh yeah, so it was a picture of, okay, yeah, here we go. It don't have the picture. So it was a picture, and it had and the display when you're going to check out of all the candy bars there, and it was all his stuff, and it was kind of jagged. It wasn't straightened. And he was just like, he tweeted out, "Hey fans," I would have done the same thing. "Hey fans, my chocolate bars are in Walmart now. If you see them looking like this, why don't you straighten them up a little bit? I've got a team. I've got a team." He actually said this, and people are ignoring. "I've got a team that I'm hiring to do this, but I haven't got them set up yet. So if you are a fan of mine, if you'll just straighten these up while you're standing there waiting in line, and if you want to move them in front of the other Hershey chocolate bars, I wouldn't say anything." It was kind of, he wasn't getting his fans to work for him.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. Jimmy's brilliant.
He leveraged the idle time of people watching his YouTube videos and was like, "Hey man, you guys help us out a little bit.
Hey, help me
for
out
instance,
a little bit. It's helping the world."
I'm going to take a page out of his book. I'm going to be like, "Hey guys, since you're not doing anything, listening right now, you could just like reach down and hit the like button, subscribe. All right. Yeah.
No,
Mr. Beast is
I think Mr.
brilliant.
Beast is
He's
a
a
very
dude.
smart guy, and all these papers. This is like the third, fourth one that I've read that I saw yesterday. I was like, you got to be kidding me! Fortune, Mr. Beast asked his fans to help clean up his chocolate bars and display, and they're doing it.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you
they
be
do
like,
it? It's fucking brilliant.
hey,
That
friends?
was brilliant, and his fans are going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm one of his fans. Hell, if I see it in Walmart, hell, I might do it just because I like the guy. I have seen how much money he's given away. I have seen the reactions of some of these people that he's given. He's like, hey, here's a new car. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, here. Do you need another one? These food banks, he's like, okay, for your food bank,
So
whatever you can
I
put in
guess
a circle, I'll
since
buy.
we're on chocolate bars, I wasn't really intending to bring either of these things up, but we'll just mention it. Did you know that Hershey's chocolate has a new ad campaign? Their new ad campaign, they've hired a transgender person to be their spokesmodel. I don't know the name of the transgender person. I think it's a trans woman, so it's a biological male that is I guess a woman now. So that's the new like face of Hershey's chocolate. And Jeremy Boring of Daily Wire,
Ashley sent this to me.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
He said, "Hey,
brilliant.
I don't I don't like this. So we're gonna combat him with our own chocolate company." So Jeremy Boring is launching his own line of chocolate bars, and there's two kinds. Let's see, where's the name of the?
Jeremy's right. Mr. Beast paid for like, I don't remember how many, 1,000, 5,000 people to get cataract surgery.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. Okay, here I've got the here we go.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
This is Jeremy Boring's new chocolate company. So you can get Jeremy's razors, and you can now get Jeremy's chocolate bar. There's only two.
The he/hims have nuts.
Yes. The he/him chocolate bar has nuts, and the she/her chocolate bar is nutless. And that's the only two type there are. It's a binary chocolate system. Yeah. So you can get a 4-pack for $25.
I would pay $25 for 4 chocolate bars.
Yeah. Look at that. That's what you get. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you,
I wish
Jeremy.
they weren't novelty. I wish it was.
Yeah, right. Now, if Mr. Beast had that idea, they'd be in Walmart. It'd be all over the country.
Jeremy, I didn't see that. I didn't catch it.
Morning, Dragoon. Morning, everybody. If we haven't already said so, good morning. All right, Deacon, I have an answer for the end of the world. I have an answer for the end of the world. And where did it go? I lost it. Here it is. It's right here. And all you need is a little bit of money. And why is this ad there? It's taking up so much room. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, it's one of these things. I hate these things. There is a rare missile silo available for sale. So,
cool.
Yeah. So if you are worried about a meteorite coming from outer space to hit us in 2040 something, you can buy a missile silo right now. I don't know how much it costs, but you know what? If it's the end of the world, does it really matter how much it costs? Really? You can. Have you seen these things before, where people buy these old bunkers that are not used anymore, and they renovate them and they turn them into? Yeah, I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah,
but here's the thing:
live there. Yeah,
you go into this door, like there's this door in a field or whatever. You go into this steel vault door, and then you have to go down 180 feet on like 18 flights of stairs.
It's okay. Cardio.
Cardio.
You don't have to
and
work
then there's
out.
a giant vault
every day.
This particular one has been kind of refurbished, and they even I I think they updated the command console room so that it was repainted or whatever. But like this would be like the front door of your house, and then you go down into a
Straight
giant
up fucking
nuclear bunker.
super villain. I would
Yes.
feel so much like a super villain. That would rock.
It
Man.
sounds like a cool idea.
Hell,
Oh,
yeah. You get your
it's
own
even near
little
a lake.
John boat.
Yeah. So let me get rid of this. I pulled this story up on my phone. I sent it to our thing, and then you get over here, and it's one of those flip through a
Yeah,
stories. I hate those. Awful. All right. Let's see. We got the title of the story. The title today was Gen Zs are retarded, and this is why I actually made that story. So this is from some website called Screenshot Media.
Okay.
And apparently, and this will be our last story, I guess. From ancient printers to stubborn scanners, office machines are giving Gen Z serious tech shame. So everybody thinks that Gen Z is like, so good with tech. They raised on tablets and phones, and they're just so smart. Gen Z are idiots. They can't even figure out where the on button is on a lot of things. So they are having trouble with printers and scanners and photocopiers. And in one case, couldn't find the power button, so the office administrator had to print a sticker with that says, "This is how you turn it on," and stick it on the monitor. So these people are entering the workforce, and they're not really well equipped to deal with difficult challenges like figuring anything out. And these people are going to be the future of our country. Oh, I didn't show you the photos. I thought I was broadcasting it. Yeah, I think you got it. I think you got it.
Photos.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. Yeah. I don't
Well,
think. Is there anything else that you're like in love with this? See, I'm telling you, the stories here are not super great.
No. There was the Kirk Cameron thing that I come across this morning, and I won't even pull that up.
What's up?
Kirk Cameron's basically his book publisher object. It was just him making a statement to objecting to he objects to inclusivity edits of the R.L. Stein books. He says that wokeism is a virus. He don't think that R.L. Stein has come out and said that he is going to go back and edit his books.
Oh, well, if he wants to, then fine, do it. Make it woke.
That's what when he said that he was going to edit the books, I thought, okay, I guess I'm okay with that rather than because he's still alive.
Right.
He wants to go and edit the book. That's nothing that I'm ever going to be concerned about. So what do I give two shits about?
Yeah, right.
Edits?
Yeah. So if the creator wants to do it, then okay. Well, whatever.
But honestly, to go back and edit like books of someone that's passed away, like Roald Dahl and Mark Twain's books and stuff like that, that's I object to all that crap. That's pushing.
Listen,
there was another thing that you had up here, an algorithm.
Yeah. Here we go. So an algorithm has detected 8 mysterious signals that possibly came from aliens. I think it's an AI search thing. A team in Toronto created an algorithm to organize telescope data to weed out interference. The scientists claim this will help the search for advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, sending out techno signatures. The new machine learning operated algorithm, so that's AI, machine learning is AI. The new AI thing just detected 8 new radio signals coming from 5 stars that are 30 to 90 light years away. While the signals probably aren't from extraterrestrials, we also don't know for sure. So, hey, as long as we don't know, there's a possibility that there's aliens out there. Maybe the aliens are communicating.
It says using machine learning, the algorithm weeds out human-made interference to allow scientists to focus on real signals from deep space and then find patterns in that information that could show they came from technologically generated signals. Of course, even though the signals appear the way the scientists expect extraterrestrial signals to look, they say they aren't yet convinced aliens are behind them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's not as though we haven't learned in the last couple of weeks that AI can be incentivized to lie to you and tell you what you want to hear.
No, but AI would be that's really interesting. AI would be good to use to differentiate all these different radio signals that we get that comes from space, because AI would actually be able to be like, oh, wait a minute, this one is in a pattern, and the pattern spans 14 years. You know,
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
been
yeah.
watching this one spot for 14 years, and the pattern has finally repeated itself. Where humans are never going to be able to come up with that. Somebody watching that shit, AI will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
If there is a pattern, AI
yeah,
would be good
if
at
there is a
finding it.
pattern, right. What you're saying, if, yeah, you're
Right.
exactly
So
right.
a lot of times the radio signals that you get will be like from way out in distant space, and
Yeah.
it'll be something like like a star that's spinning so fast
Yeah.
that it's emitting like
W-
alpha waves or something, and
Right.
then planets go around it and it breaks it up. So you have a constant emission from a rotating star, and then a planet passes on the plane that the Earth is in, passes through, breaks the signal, opens it up, passes. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
it's
it's like
crazy.
bitty, bitty, bitty.
And we as human beings we haven't even scratched the surface in understanding audio and sound. We think we understand sound, but we know nothing. And like you said, those radio waves, we think we understand radio waves, but I've been working in radio 30 years, and we still don't understand as a species. We don't completely understand radio waves. We just know how they work and we know how to manipulate them. We think we know how they work, but
Yeah.
there's still a mystery.
I remember in an astronomy class one time, there was a particle that we talked about that was could move, or it could be at a place, but it couldn't move and be at a place at the same time. So if you can like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it kind of it changed phase, and observing it changed the state. So
there's a lot of particles that are like that. When you observe it, it changes it, but when you're not observing it, it's doing something completely different, and that just blows our mind. All right. So this is part of the show that we end, that we always get we give you a dad joke, and I encourage you to go to our Discord server. We have people that are joining our Discord server all the time, FUNSLINGERS, and join and send us dad jokes, and send me insults for my ditch skull, for my divot head. I need some good insults. What are we calling this?
Yeah, in fact, if also leave your insults as a comment on this video if you're watching it later in the day.
Please.
Thanks for watching all of this part of the show, though.
JJ, I just I want to end the show with did you know that inflation's going crazy and whatnot? We had a piece of pie. Ashley and I went out last night. We had a piece of strawberry pie that they had there at the I indulged a little bit. I'm diabetic. Did you know, I was
really
looking this up, did you know that a slice of pie is $2.50 now in Jamaica, and it's $3 in the Bahamas? Those are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
It's expensive these days.
We'll stay closer, maybe south of the equator here. I have a question for you, and you've probably wondered this many a time. Sometimes you got to change light bulbs, right? Do you know how many people it takes in South America to change light bulbs?
No, I don't. How many people does it take in South America to change a light bulb?
Like a Brazilian.
It's a bunch.
Oh my God. Hey guys, I forgot to tell you. Isn't tomorrow Friday?
Fringe Friday. The Arrival.
French. Yeah, we need to watch French.
The Arrival. Watch episode 4. Season 1, episode 4.
Season 1, episode 4. Go watch French. All right, bye again.